Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is Nick Miller, and as you've probably heard, if you listen to our podcast regularly, our complete wedding video course is open for enrollment right now. You can check it out. Head over to completeweddingvideography.com. You can see everything that's included in the course and all that. And with conjunction with the launch of our complete video course, we are doing a couple of free workshops, the Filmmaking with Intention workshop. And here is day one of this workshop. We had some internet glitches and some stuff, so we thought it would be really cool if we would upload this as a podcast so you could listen to it uninterrupted. I did some editing, so if there's anything that kind of glitches or kind of doesn't make sense, it's probably because I had to do a little, internet editing trickery or something with that. Want to let you know that this is not live, and so we do mention some stuff about giveaways and sign up and that kind of stuff that may or may not still be going on while you listen to this. So there could be some stuff that's a little confusing there. This was a live workshop that we did. Again, because of the internet glitches, we wanted to go ahead and post this for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this bonus episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast.
I like it. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, I am doing very, very well. Can you hear me over there?
I can. Can you hear me? I hope so. I just started talking. I know what I'm doing.
I can hear you. I know we got a little bit of a delay, so we're just going to hang on here for 1 second before we kind of get into stuff. And we just want to make sure that everyone can hear us and see us and all of that kind of stuff. So whenever you do hear us and see us, let us know. Ooh, what is, oh, we're getting to that. You're getting ahead of yourself there, buddy.
Nick,
Yes.
I was in Texas all weekend, birthday trip. With my daughter and wife and other daughter, and was very excited to be on that. But I am now very excited to be back in Oklahoma because I knew that we were doing this today. I've been like not sleeping, but just so excited. It's almost like the first day of school or something. I'm just like, this is hopefully, this is why we do How to Film Weddings. We love when we open up our course for enrollment, but we just love helping the community. And you all who are here live or watching later, just want to say thanks. Thank you guys.
Yes.
Super excited.
Super excited.
Are people commenting?
We have one person that said that they can hear us and see us. So I think that we are good. We're on opposite
Sam
sides.
said, whoa, you're on opposite sides of the screen. I love it.
Yes. So
that is neat.
That is very neat. John, are we just ready to jump in and get started here? Or what are you thinking?
Yes. Before we get going, I'm going to do my best to make this more interactive. We cannot see your faces. We can just see your bubbles here on Facebook, but I'm going to ask questions from time to time. And I just want you to lean in to this information. I want you to set your mind on getting the most out of this. Have your notepad ready. When we ask a question, get involved, respond in the comments. So first things first, let us know in the comments, even if you have already, where you're watching from and what you're hoping to get out of these 2 days filmmaking with intention. But yes, Nick, we are ready to rock and roll.
Rock and roll. So as many of you know, we are John and Nick. I'm based in Wichita, Kansas. Have my video business with my wife, Wild Oak Films. John and I started How to Film Weddings a few years ago. That's John. You can say hi and introduce yourself.
Hi, and introducing myself. No, you guys know us, but we like to say hello. I know a lot of people are inviting others to this group. You may not know who we are. We both run our own separate wedding video businesses. I'm in Tulsa. Running John Bunn Films. That's been 15 years. This is my 16th year going into, which is crazy, which is basically saying that I'm old. But here we are. We're putting our over 20 years of combined wedding video business to use with the How to Film Weddings podcast and our complete wedding videography course. And we are really pumped about this workshop.
Yes, we are. And so how this workshop is going to work, we're going to take about 45 to 60 minutes or so to share with you some knowledge. We do have some really, really cool giveaways that we are going to get into in a second, and then we'll have a little bit of Q&A time at the very end. Before we get going, we want to let you know that we do have a course, the Complete Wedding Videography course. We are going to be talking about that. We are going to be pushing that, completeweddingvideography.com. If you want to purchase it, we would love for you to, but we also wanted to give you some really good information. It's what we're doing here this week. And we're doing something really, really special with this giveaway for some people. John, do you want to talk about that?
I would love, dude, I always love talking. You guys know this about me. Um, First of all, Nick posted in the comments, he just pinned a link to completeweddingvideography.com. We don't want to blow you up again and again through the comments, but if you're interested, check out the course. All the details are over there. Um, the first 50 people that join the course, and we've already had a handful join before today's announcement or before this workshop. I was like, oh, it's live. Oh, people are joining. Oh, great.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
so that those first 50 spots, we have a little incentive. So if you've already purchased and joined the Complete Wedding Video course, you're entered
At
to
any
win. But
time.
once we hit, yeah, back in the over the last year and a half, if you've purchased, you're entered. We do this as just like a kickoff for the people that are on the fence but don't want to jump. The first 50 to join will be part of a giveaway as a celebration that we do with every 50 new members, with all of these things. And so we've worked with some of our sponsors, and they have gotten us some really incredible items. Wedflow is going to be doing 5 projects or $100 worth of Wedflow delivery system, which is super rad. Wedditor is doing an audio mastering edit, which is incredible. And then Lens Rentals is doing a $500 gift card. On the next slide here, our friend Paige Holst at the Creative Law Shop is giving away a $500 template bundle for her wedding videography. Contract templates get you ready for next year. All kinds of great things in that bundle. Music Bed, give me a break. They're awesome. They're giving a full wedding subscription for a year. Love Stories TV is doing a business listing for a year. Like all of this stuff, all included. And then Nick, just no big deal.
No big
But
deal.
we're going to be giving away one person, the big giveaway this year, which we've been kind of hiding or giving a little clues to. We're going to give away an M1 MacBook Pro, 1999 value, right there, M1 Pro. So yeah, I mean, these are the first 50 that join will be entered to win this. If you've already purchased the Complete Wedding Video course, if you would like to be entered in that, say that's me in the comments. All right,
Yes,
Nick.
yes. And today we are doing a couple of giveaways at the end of this. Tomorrow we've been pushing it. Tomorrow we are going to be giving away a drone. But today we are going to be giving away a B&H gift card, a $500 B&H gift card, and also a $100 gift card to Lens Rentals. If you actually go to CompleteWeddingVideography.com, here on the landing page, you just scroll down a little bit, and this little section here that says win a drone. So all you need to do is fill that out, and we will do that drawing at the end of today's presentation.
And where do they go to find that, Nick?
They go to CompleteWeddingVideography.com, just the landing page
Okay.
for our sales of the website. So CompleteWeddingVideography.com. Also, John,
If they want an extra, if they want an extra giveaway, we have the community app where you can text the number 918-300-4617. Text the word drone, and we will put your name in for an extra or an extra entry to the giveaway for tomorrow. So that number again is 918-300-4617. Nick, day one is here, and I am pumped up because I don't know if you've heard or not, but next year is supposed to be BANANAS. It's going to be a very bananas year next year. 2022 is supposed to be the busiest year of our lifetimes, at least our professional lifetimes. I know some of us were alive in 1984.
You're jumping like way ahead in the slides. Like
I am never ahead. I am always right on time. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
Gandalf.
not. It's going to be busy. So yeah. Thank you, Lord of the Rings. But
okay,
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah. So 2021 has been absolutely bananas, has been really crazy for a lot of us, someone in our mastermind, they said that they had something like, what was it? Like 20 weddings or something in a 3-month period, or, something ridiculous, like double headers every weekend, just because of all the pushback from COVID stuff. And then, so 2021 has been crazy, but 2022 is shaping up to be even crazier and even busier. And does this look like you? How many of you feel like Jim does right here in this photo, where you're just like, at your wit's end, you've gotten pelted with snowballs in your face, and you just want it to end? If you are tired and overworked, you are going to burn out. And we don't want that for you.
No, and it seems as though at this time of the year, every year, that's where we get to this point to where it's just like, oh my goodness, what did I do to myself? And we're going to help you with that this week. What
Mhm.
if you had margin in your life, Nick? Like, I remember thinking, all I need is just some margin in my bank account. I need some margin in my time so I don't feel like every second of every day is accounted for. And I needed margin creatively. I needed to be able to take on things that meant something to me, that felt like I could just do it because I wanted to be creative, because that's who we are. We're creatives. We want to
Mhm.
do that. But if you don't have a plan and you don't put things together and run your business correctly, you're not going to have margin with your money. You're not going to have margin with your time or your creativity, and you are going to burn out.
Yes. And the thing we want to let you know is that margin in your life does not happen by accident. You can't just, automatically say, hey, I'm going to get this if you don't plan ahead, if you do not think ahead. It only really happens when you get really freaking intentional. Not just
Yeah,
intentional,
it's true.
but really freaking
No.
intentional, all underlined and bolded too.
Yeah, we wanted to make that point. Sorry about our language, but we really think you have to be really freaking intentional. Sorry. And one thing that I've been seeing around, it's like if you're in your third year of business in wedding videography, you are now considered a veteran. You are one of the most seasoned wedding videographers in the world. If you've done at least 3 years and you're still in business, you're at the top. So if that is like, if you're going in thinking that way, you're a veteran, you will make different decisions. Most people quit in their first 3 years. And my question is, why do they quit? Nick?
We really believe that they quit because they are not intentional. They are not intentional with their business, with their filmmaking, with their everything that they do. They are just going about it and trying to make stuff work, and they are not being intentional and doing stuff purposefully. Okay. Do you just let your business happen to you and you're taking what you get? Or are you more intentional about it? John, why don't you talk about this misconception?
Yeah, a lot of people think that if their work is great, that that's all they need. Their schedule will fill up and they will be rich and happy. And that's just a misconception. I remember meeting Nick and just being like, your films are better than mine, but I am better at getting people to see my films than you are. I'm more intentional with this part of my business. And he was more creative, had better films. But until that side of things got lined up, that's what was holding him back from margin in his life, with his time, his money, his creativity. So the truth, though, is that those that know how to be intentional with their businesses are the ones that succeed. It took me a long time to figure this out. If I'm not intentional with my business, if I'm not intentional with how many bookings I take and all of these things, I'm going to burn out. I'm not going to have margin. I'm not going to be creative. So,
Yeah.
Nick, how can we be more intentional with our businesses in 2022?
Yes. How can we be more intentional? Intentional. In case you haven't heard, 2022 is going to be crazy. Okay. It is supposed to be the most weddings that have happened, at least in the United States, probably the world, since 1984. Okay. There
Okay.
are tons of people that are watching this and listening to this right now that weren't even alive in 1984. Okay. And so, how do you feel about this year? We showed that graphic of Jim and his, just like, I just want this to end. And I think that there are a lot of people that can relate to that for this year in 2021. Okay. But when next year is supposed to even be even busier, do you want to feel that way in 2022? Do you want to feel overwhelmed? Do you want to feel overworked? Do you want to feel tired? John?
Bring, bring.
Oh my God.
Future you is calling and begging for current you to get your stuff in order. Think about this. Future you is calling. You from 12 months from now is saying, please get your stuff together so this time next year, I don't feel the same way as I do. So, guess where you will be this time next year if you don't get intentional? You're going to be tired, you're going to be burned out, and you're not going to be booking the weddings you want.
In 2021, this is talking about, John and I, we took the amount of weddings we wanted, we made more money, and we had margin in our lives. And we're going to get down and actually break down some of those numbers here in a little bit. But we started being intentional a while ago with our businesses, and we are really seeing the fruit of that labor, today. And this is what we want for you. We want you to have margin. We want you to get intentional. We got intentional, and now we have margin, and that is exactly what we want for you. John?
Yeah, and I don't want this to be a workshop where we just kind of get you excited, but don't give you any practical steps to actually get intentional. And so, how do we practically get intentional? Most people actually don't think about next year until it's too late. Have you ever been in this boat? I know I have,
Yeah.
where I've booked 15, 16, 20 weddings without even really paying attention to where I want my business to go the next year. And the thing about wedding filmmaking and wedding videography in general is we book 12 months out, 18 months out. And so if you don't think about these things now, especially before the busiest season of our lifetime, you are going to potentially burn yourself out to a point where you have to quit next year. And we don't want that. So most people don't think about next year until it's too late. So this workshop could do a couple things. Nick, I'll let you talk about those.
It could save you hundreds of hours of work. Okay. Whenever you, are sitting there, if you're thinking about your pricing and you're like, hey, I really don't like doing these doc edits anymore, I'm going to just stop doing them. So for every wedding, now you have freed up, maybe you're not making more money, but you have freed up, that 3 hours for every wedding, that you have taken. And if you do, 10 weddings, that's 30 hours. Like that's an entire work week that you have now freed up. Or you could make more money. Maybe you drop that doc edit out of your package, so you're freeing up time, and now you're making more money for your time and for your effort. So if you're intentional with your business, if you're intentional in how you, make your pricing and how you run your business, it could be very, very beneficial for you. So John, where do we start?
That's a great question, Nick. You have to begin with the end in mind. And this is Stephen Covey. I'm not taking this, but I started adapting this principle forever ago where you begin with the end in mind. And what that means is you really need to set a realistic goal. That's why we underlined it, of what you want to make next year, really what you need to make next year. That's the first thing that you want to do, is set that realistic goal. I mean, if you say, I want to make $1 million next year, that's not super realistic, unless, of course, maybe it is. But the next thing is you want to set a realistic goal of how many weddings in a perfect world you want to shoot next year. It's a simple math equation, but this is going to help you determine a few things.
Figuring out how much money you want to make and how many weddings you need to shoot and how many weddings you want to shoot each year. So you need to do a little math and figure that out. What's the price that you need to charge for a wedding, okay, to make that amount? Okay. So do you need to raise your prices, or do you need to book more weddings? Okay. Whenever you sit down and you're intentional and you figure all of that stuff out, then we are going to move forward with that. Are we good on the internet? Are we good?
Yeah, we're back on the internet. It was a little glitchy there, so hopefully, the internet doesn't screw us over today, internet. Thank you for all you do for us, internet, but don't screw us over today. So just to reiterate, in case you missed it, you got to know how many weddings you have in 2021 and the average price you have per wedding after all add-ons. And then you want to look at how many you already have booked for next year and what is your average price. You should have an increase in your average price year over year if you are growing as a business. So that's something to look at. And if you're not raising your prices every year, something is up, something is wrong. So the next thing you need to know is, how many weddings do you want to shoot? Nick, I'll let you talk. I want to make sure it's good.
Yes, you just need to figure out how many weddings you want to shoot, and that's going to determine your price and how busy you want to be. There's some people that say, all I want to do is like 20 weddings each year. Okay. But in order to make that money that you want to make, you might need to charge more. But there's some people that really like being busy, right? There's some people that want to shoot, 30, 35, 40, 45 weddings a year. And so it's all a person. There is no right or wrong answer, but when it comes to how many weddings you want to shoot, like, you should be looking at that, the money that you're making and how much you want to make and how it all fits together. You need to figure out this equation. Okay. We want to let you know that it's okay to set limits. Okay. You can say no. You can tell people if it's not a location or a venue, or there's just something you can say, no, I don't want to do that. Or you can take time off for your family, or we're going to go on a family vacation, or like something like that. It is okay to set limits. Okay. So John, do you have anything you want to add about that?
On the limit side of things, I'm a people pleaser, and I just wanted to throw it out there that it's okay. And it was a weird transition for me to like outprice the kind of market that I was in and move to a new market of like pricing wise. In the same, a friend of a bride inquired, and I don't understand why your price is so much more for me and it wasn't for her. And like I start feeling bad and say, okay, I'll do your wedding and I'll do. It's your life. You get to live it. You get to make the choices, and nobody else is going to be doing those for you. It's okay to set limits and say no. Until I started saying no, I didn't have margin in my life until I started saying no to certain things. And that is huge. You have to set limits and say no if you want to be able to say yes to the right kinds of couples and say yes to time for your family or time for whatever it is that you want. So I really want to just drive that home, that it's really okay to set limits and say no to people.
Yes, it is. And another thing that you need to do is be self-aware. Okay. And I am really bad at this. I'm bad at it. And there's some people that are really good at being self-aware and some people that just aren't. And I'm not, the best. But does your work line up with the price that you want to get paid? You can say, hey, I want to charge $5,000 for a wedding video, but does your work look like a $5,000 wedding video work? I said that weird, but you get the point.
That was beautifully put. Yeah. That was beautifully put.
Does your work line up with the price that you want to get paid? Okay. And if it doesn't, if you're self-aware, what do you need to change to get there? Yes, John.
I think a lot of people, when it comes to their art, it's really offensive when somebody tells them that it's not worth something that they think it is. And you can think that all you want, but your market will help determine that price. And I would recommend finding somebody like a buddy in your market, or even in a different market or in our group, to help you become more self-aware, like an honest friend that is going to say, that's probably worth $3,500, that video, or, $2,000, whatever it is. So being self-aware on how much value you really provide right now is going to help. And that's what needs to change to be that. What needs to change to be able to charge what you need to charge? Look at other people that are charging 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever $1,000 for the wedding films, and say, what does their website look like? What is their branding? What do their films look like? What are the sound design? Being self-aware, it's like, how long have they been in business? Where is their market? All of these things factor into being self-aware.
Yeah. Yeah. And so another thing, does your brand line up with the price that you want to charge? Okay. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Does it, if you're getting into this, $4,500, $5,000, $5,500, $6,000 markets, your website and your communication and your correspondence, it needs to have a certain look and a certain feel to it. You really can't have a website, okay, that looks like you built it, just in a couple of hours and threw some stuff together. So when it comes to your brand, if you're being self-aware, what do you need to change?
Yeah.
John?
The next thing you want to look at is your market. I think a lot of people, go message and be just like, oh, I live in this area and you can't charge that much in this area. Well, if you want to charge a certain amount, you might have to be self-aware that, the top of my market in Tulsa is going to be $7,000, $8,000. That's pretty much the top for me, which is great. But if I want to do 10 weddings and make $100,000, if those are my numbers, I might have to get outside of my market to make those dollars. I might have to start running ads in other places, or starting to make connections in, or building a YouTube channel that allows me to, do destination work. And so, like, for me, my average next year is way more than what it would be if I were only in Tulsa, but most of my weddings are outside of Tulsa. So you have to be aware what needs to change. Is your market the right market for where you want to go? Do you need to change that? And so this self-awareness thing, you can't just put a video out, say it's awesome, be like, I don't understand why I don't have what I want. You have to be intentional. And that's the real, the word obviously of the day is intentionality.
Yes, yes. So who is afraid to raise their prices or doesn't feel like their work maybe supports it? Okay. I know for a long time I felt that I did not believe that my work was good enough to charge these numbers that other people were charging. Okay. That is just a reality that, so many of us live in. And I think that one of the reasons why people charge so low is because they don't have that self confidence, okay, in themselves. Okay. If you could talk to yourself from 12 months ago, if you could talk to yourself from, November of 2020, what would that person say to you? What would they say? What would they suggest to you? Okay. When people are talking to potential clients, we need to think where we will be as a business when their wedding happens. Okay. I'm talking to people in that are getting married in like April of 2023. And like I'm raising my prices significantly even more for those weddings because I know, hey, I already have 14 for next year. We're going to be going we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. And so they are paying for, 18 months in the future, Nick. They're not paying for current Nick. John?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I've seen this again and again and again. And every time I meet people, the questions like, how do I raise my prices? You have to stop selling yourself short. And confidence goes a long way. We said it earlier. If you're in your third year of business, maybe you're not quite yet, but the point being, you are one of the most seasoned wedding filmmakers in your area, and you have to be confident in what you offer and the value that you bring. You have to stop selling yourself short. And it's not a fake it till you make it, but it is a confidence knowing I've been doing this longer than most people. If somebody wants to do a cheaper wedding, they can do it. And it's okay to say no to them. At the beginning, anybody wanting to book you, you're like, oh, I need to say yes, and that's not what I would recommend. That's not how I would recommend doing that. And so we do hear countless stories of overbooked wedding videographers and that they were mad that they didn't charge enough. Has that been you before? Have you overbooked yourself and been mad at yourself? Because I know I have. If so, that's me in the comments.
We want you to take a look at your offerings. We want you to take a look at the things that are included in your packages. Is what you're offering in your packages, is that what you want to continue to offer for 2022 and beyond? Okay. Do you want to offer more, or do you want to offer less? Do you want to put more in your packages to make them so that when you raise your prices, there's more stuff included in them and so it's a better deal? Or do you want to remove stuff and kind of keep your prices the same, but then you would be doing, less overall work with that? Okay, John, why don't you talk about this guideline here for a second?
So when we were looking at this is just kind of a guideline. If you're looking at 2022, and if you're low on bookings for whatever that number is that you've determined how many you want to shoot, if you want to shoot 20 and you've only got 3 booked, you're in a low, it's low. So look at the number you want to book and also look at how many you have booked already. If you're 0 to 30% booked right now on November 15th, then you need to do something. You need to adjust your pricing, your offerings, your branding. You need to get more weddings booked, or you need to figure something is off here. So this is kind of like a checkup for you for next year. If you're only at that low number, there's some things that need to change. Next.
Yes.
If you're in kind of this sweet spot, Nick, which 40 to 60% booked, maybe a little bit higher than that, you're probably offering the right amount for the price. So if, you're doing 20 weddings and you might have, 10 to 12 booked, this is good. This is where you want to be, because this is giving you the room in your time budget, in your yearly budget, to fill in weddings. Or if you're 70 to 90% booked already, you are especially if you're up into that 90% range, you are overbooked. You are not, your prices should be higher. You should definitely be raising your prices quite a bit at this point. This is the perfect place to be to raise your prices. You're already 90% booked. You can use that to your advantage. You can say that I'm 90% booked already. I only have 2 spots left. This is a great opportunity for you to raise your prices. So do a self-evaluation. If you don't know the numbers yet, you don't know if you're 70 to 90% booked. If you don't do your numbers yet on how many you want to book, and that's how a lot of people live their life. And that might be you. saying, I'm just going to book whatever. I'll take what I get.
But we wanted to kind of go through in our numbers and show you what we are doing for 21 and 22 for both of us. So this is right now for 2021. Jen and I shot 15 weddings, and our average booking price was a little over $7,100, and our goal was 15. So we hit that mark, the number of weddings that we wanted to shoot. For 2022, okay, right now we're sitting at 14 weddings. Our goal is 15. And I'm sitting at about $7,800 is my average price per booking. And I will say that this number is actually kind of skewed a little bit because there is one that's been a COVID reschedule twice that got pushed back into next year. So like I've already gotten paid for that money a while ago. And so that counts as a wedding for next year, but it counts as like a $0 booking because they've already paid and, you know, that sort of stuff. And then we took a wedding in Glacier National Park that I really, really wanted. So I gave them a crazy good deal. And so if it weren't for those two, like our average booking would probably be in the $8,500 range, you know, average per wedding for next year. So John, why don't you talk about you?
So my 2021 numbers, I had 19 weddings booked, a little over 8,000 average per wedding. And my goal was 15. And I ended up shooting 16 of these 19 weddings and had my associate shooters take 3 of these. So I was one overbooking, but I was able to charge this amount because this time last year, I raised my prices. I knew who to say no to. And I said no to so many weddings last year, but I'm so happy that I did. My 2022 numbers right now, I have 8 weddings booked, and now my average price has gone up by about 5-10%. I'm averaging $9,200 per wedding. And I'm currently shooting 6 of those 8 weddings. 2 of them are associate shooters. My goal was 5 to 8 weddings for me for the year, and I'm at 6. So I'm okay with taking 1 or 2 more, but my average price has gone way up because I've been intentional. So, Nick.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Don't forget to think about the future because you will look up and not have any time for brand builder weddings. I've been thinking about the future and charging, and like there's this one that we're shooting in Glacier National Park next year, and that is one of those brand builder type weddings that we decided to take because we knew just everything about it was going to be incredible. And so we were able to do that. I know John actually this last week booked a $15,000 wedding, and he had turned several people down from before that. And this is definitely one of those ones that's going to be big for him because he was thinking of the future, and when people inquired, there was like there's something just not right about it, so he didn't take it. Okay, allow room in your schedule for 2 to 3 last minute brand builder weddings. Okay, try to think about those things where, oh, this is a venue I've always wanted to shoot at, or this couple is incredible, or, some location or something. Like, kind of use it as a marketing expense potentially and charge less, or do it just for travel for that one so that you can get your foot in the door so that you can start, really doing these brand builder type weddings. John?
Yeah, if you're fully booked, you can't take these weddings. And I don't know how many times it's happened to me where I have said yes to a wedding reluctantly because I didn't know my numbers, because I wasn't intentional. And then the wedding came along and I had to say no. This happened to me this year. I took a wedding 2 years ago that got pushed because of COVID. And it was just like, I should not have said no, or should not have said yes to that wedding. And now I'm missing out on the wedding of the century here in Tulsa because I was booked.
Okay. It's totally okay to say no to weddings that you shouldn't do. Okay. Refer them to someone else. Just say, no, this isn't where I want to be. Or, if you get to a place where we have 14 of our 15 booked for 2022, we are going to, put a hefty price tag on it for us to do it because we are so good in our bookings. Okay. So it's okay to say no and not do the ones that you want to do. One of the great things about whenever you raise your prices and your work gets better, it leaves room for new people in the industry to raise their prices under you. Okay, John, why don't you talk about this for a sec?
All right. So my Oklahoma market friends, who here is happy that I charge $8,500 starting out? I asked this question in our mastermind group the other day.
Nope.
It glitched? Oh. All right. There's what the slide says. I can't talk. It'll glitch out. You should be happy if you live in Oklahoma because I've raised my prices.
Okay. So John is doing by charging $8,500 in his local market is now there are other people that are able to raise their prices. Okay. And not, whenever you have people like John with that amount, or Penn Weddings that are in that, 8,000 plus range, it makes people like, oh, their work is incredible or whatever. And it's 8,500, but now you can come in and charge for where you are, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500. And it helps everyone. It helps the ecosystem. It helps things just get better whenever you do that. Okay. If John were charging, or if I were charging just $4,000 in their area for the type of work that we do, what would that do to people just getting into the industry? What would that do to other people? Would it help them or would it hurt them? And ultimately it would hurt them. Okay. You are more valuable than you realize. You matter. Your work is good. And we have a limiting belief in ourselves when it comes to this kind of stuff, but you are able to charge what you are worth. We believe that. Okay. And people won't pay you if you don't ask for it. So 2022 is coming, guys. Are you ready? It's coming. Are you ready? So what we do is we have a little homework. We are going to create a thread later this afternoon. And what we want you to do is post the number of weddings that you want in 2022 and then how many you already have booked. And we just want you to think about the future. We just want you to think about what is going on in your industry and in your market, and moving forward with that. Okay. And whenever you know the number of weddings you want, whenever you know the bookings that you have, whenever you know the amount of money that you need to make, you can make it all work together so that you can charge appropriately. John's just like chilling over there, relaxing, hanging out, being stressed and frustrated. He's okay. He's okay. So
no, I'm not. I'm actually not.
I
even
mean,
close
he's not.
to okay.
He's not okay. He's not okay. But he's here.
Pissed.
Yeah.
This is pissed, John. This is how pissed. This is what I look like when I'm pissed. That's it. This is as mad as I get.
Oh man. So we're going to have you post that in a thread. Again, our course is open for enrollment today, which is really, really cool. We want to remind you of these, the first 50 giveaway. We always do a celebration every year whenever every time we open enrollment again. And so for the first 50 people, everyone that has purchased the course, and then the first 50 people, we are going to do a giveaway in that group. Wedflow is doing a $100 value with projects up to 5 projects. Wedditor is going to do an audio mastering of a film. It's a $350 value. Lens Rentals is giving away a $500 gift card. Our friend Paige Hulse at the Creative Law Shop is giving away $500 in legal templates that you can use for your business, new contract. Music Bed is giving away a wedding subscription of $730 value. Love Stories is going to give away a business listing on their website, which is a $900 value. And then we are also giving you giving away an M1 Pro MacBook Pro, which is a $2,000 value. John, I'm just like flying through stuff here. I don't know anything. You're just gonna do a little thumbs up there. One thing, hold on here. Oh, man.
Hi.
Hello.
I don't want to ruin the internet.
I know you don't.
Tomorrow's workshop is just Nick.
It's just gonna be me. Hopefully we can help you figure this stuff. So one thing we want to do is just walk you through real quick what's in the complete wedding videography course. So it is 3 modules. We have business, shooting, and editing. We're opening it for this week. This week only. We open it up about twice a year. So here's our business module. We cover so much stuff in there. Our client consultations is a big thing. Over 10 hours, 17 sections. You can kind of go here and see what's in there. Another cool thing that we have started doing is actually uploading Zoom calls that we have with real clients so that you can learn from the things that we have done. John's $15,000 booking, we just uploaded it to that section. We have a shooting module, everything from showing up on the wedding day through sparkler exit. We talk about shooting, and then we have a few behind the scenes videos, some never seen before, only in this course. People can get those. That is in that section, the shooting section, and then the editing section, talking theory about editing. And then I actually sit down and edit an entire wedding video from start to end and show you my entire process with that and my explanation of why I'm doing that. That is included in that. Then we have some other things that are included. Our pricing guides. Okay. Our pricing guides are in the course. If you sign up for it, you get all 3 of them. It's $150 value for just one, and we're going to give you all 3 so that you can choose those, which one you want, which one works for you. This is something that we added yesterday. And I'm super excited about this. Sam Jacobson with Idea Action Consulting. He does sales and website and copywriting and stuff. He recorded a little webinar just for us. It is small website tweaks that will make you money. Okay, it is a $250 value that everyone gets whenever they sign up for the course, but this is so much value added in this little webinar here that Sam recorded just for us. And then all of our How to Film Weddings digital templates are in there. Again, our Zoom recordings, we're updating those frequently. Our behind the scenes, we're adding more and more. If you pay in full, we are going to give you our Posing for Wedding Videographers mini course there, where it's 20 poses, I think, that John and I have come up with a real couple that we had never met with before, and walk you through how to pose on the wedding day. And then we have a premium bundle. And the thing here about this, you get a one-on-one mentor session with us, which is great. Also, we are going to do a film review for you, an in-depth film review. That's a $200 value. The mentor session is a $500 value. And then we recorded this mini course, YouTube Mastery. Our YouTube channels have blown up. We've gotten a lot of, I think Wild Oak Films has hit 26,000 subscribers as of this morning, or this last week. It's really growing. It's a $400 value that is included as a premium bonus. Here we have a couple of options. You have the pay in full or the one-time. The one-time payment for the regular bundle is going to be $14.97, or the premium one is $19.97. And today you can get started for as little as $147 a month for 12 months, or $197 a month for 12 months. And then we do accept PayPal credit with that. Man, I am talking a whole lot, and I know John is scared to say anything because it doesn't want to ruin the internet. But one thing we also want to let you know for sure is that we do have a 21-day money back guarantee, so that you go through it, and if it's not for you, we will give you our money back with that. So there you have it, the Filmmaking with Intention bonus workshop. It went really, really well, other than the internet glitches in there. Hopefully this edited down version will really help you in going forward. If you're interested in our course, please check it out. But if if you're not interested in that right now, that's okay. We hope that this information that you picked up from this workshop was very, very helpful. Thank you guys so much for listening. And until next time, we will see you.